All right, that should be working.
I haven't got there's the message. We are live. I think what it is that I'm used to is the voice, is the woman telling me that we're recording.
It didn't say anything that time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm
sure people complain about it. Like, hey, why do we have to hear that voice? And then now we miss it.
I don't know if it's just because we do kind of some show prep throughout the day or a couple days in advance of when we record here on Wednesday nights, but such a crazy world. Like there's so much crazy stuff happening. And then when it's like when you're getting ready to do the show and like record and go live and all that, it all just seems like, is it that crazy? It's just like, or it's just all normal. Like this is just the,
this is normal, except we're just now oversaturated with coverage of all the madness that's going on around us.
I wonder if it is normal because like we act like this is crazy, right? And I guess we can save this for the show. It's a crazy time. You could just say, like in today's culture, you can just walk up to just about any other American and be like, man, this is a crazy time, right? It's crazy. And then they'll be like, yep. And then there's like that conversation. It could go like 10 different ways. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm off the next 2 days. I keep forgetting.
What are you gonna do with those 2 days, man?
I'm gonna go to Lowe's and hang out.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a blast.
Yeah, I'm gonna spread some fertilizer.
Wait, is that euphemism for something, or
no? It's not. Yeah, I was trying to think of like something else to say, as if it was a euphemism, but no. I've spread enough of my seed. I fertilized enough eggs. Two at a time. Every now and then, 2 at a time.
Oh, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Nope, I don't want to fix on this.
Oh, let's see. What do we got here? We got what was that sound? Is that, you guys have something playing in the background, or is that, am I getting some weird interference?
There was a bird that was calling outside the window now. I don't know if it was
a bird.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's a sensitive microphone if that's the case.
Hello, Monkey's uncle. You never know. I mean, there's like 800 devices in this house. There's no telling what kind of tablet's been left on somewhere, a TV. Yeah, it's terrible. Or walkie-talkie even. Yeah, had that happen before. She's like, what's that noise? Oh, just kids got my walkie-talkies out, left them on.
You know, what's funny?
Now it's picking up somebody like from a construction site next door. I don't know.
Where I work, we use the radios to communicate. We use them to communicate with engineering.
Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it? Does it feel good, right?
Yeah.
To use like a real radio.
Yeah, but what's funny is whenever I've called it walkie-talkie, to my boss, he's like, "What walkie-talkie? What are we, 7?" I'm like, I don't know. I guess okay. I'll say radio, but they're actual expensive, like hundreds of dollars.
And you struck him with your walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
Like it could also be used as a weapon.
Yeah. I don't know why. Remember Latrell Sprewell? He came to mind.
Yeah, he choked it. Yeah, he about to choke.
Yeah. All right. What?
Latrell Spree. No, he didn't. Did he rename himself?
Latrese?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Man, I know who Latrell Sprewell is. That was probably like an era where I, probably the last era where I really paid attention to basketball. And then
what's your favorite team?
Ron Artest.
Oh yeah, Meta
Right?
World
Both
Peace.
of those guys attacked. No, was it Latrell Sprewell tried to choke
coach.
PJ Colosimo?
Yeah.
And then Ron Artest, I think he just beat up some dudes in the stands or something. Yeah.
Allegedly, no.
Latrell Sprewell, he's a little like he's big, dude. I wouldn't want to fight with him, but he's a little skinny. But Ron Artest, no. I would not want to get punched by him. Yeah, I'd be like, no.
Wait, if you did have your pick of the litter, which NBA
Oh, Muggsy
superstar
Bogues. I just try to drop kick him or something.
That's so unfair, man.
Either that, or you have to do
Bogues.
like, or you have to do like, what was the guy? Bakembe Mutombo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he was so skinny, like you could just knock him down. Like he had, oh, hi, babies. First day of kindergarten today. I'm so proud.
So sweet. Oh,
okay. Thanks, baby.
Love you.
Love you. Oh my goodness. Close that door behind you. Thank you, sweetheart. Okay, sorry. Muggsy Bogues, yeah. Or like there's one of those guys, like there's a giant white guy, George something. He might even be dead already. Like that's how like in terrible shape and like weird his body was. He's like really tall. He's a white guy. Somewhere from some country in Europe where children are, I don't know, grow to be 7'7", but are still malnourished somehow. They still look malnourished.
that looks so painful.
Yeah. It's like his body was like, you're not giving me enough food to grow to 7'7", but I'm going to grow that tall anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Are you a fan of tall stature, or are you more just like, I wouldn't mind being short? Where do you fall?
Oh, me, I think I'm the perfect height. So, which I believe that should be everyone's outlook.
Okay, this guy. So humble.
No, I'm saying everybody should just be like
that you're the perfect height.
Yeah, I'm the perfect height, and everyone else should think the same thing about themselves.
Yeah.
Unless you're 7'7" and you could like barely stay up, and then I don't know what you think about yourself. But no one that's 7'7" is like, I hope my kids turn out to be 7'7", right? Like God, I hope they don't grow to be this tall.
Oh, I just, you know what I'm afraid of? I'm afraid of gigantism.
Mm.
Even though they probably have nothing to worry about.
It will be worse, like having gigantism, like all overall, or like just gigantism and like one of your feet is gigantic, like one limb.
Oh yeah, that'd probably be pretty
That'd be
bad.
What if
up.
your right hand, like your right arm and fist was gigantic? You could be like world champion boxer.
Yeah.
I wonder if they would let me fight if.
I wonder what your nickname would be.
I don't know. Club,
Gigantor.
club, gigant. No, it'd probably be. You never know.
Oh,
The clubs.
Yep, the club. This guy.
Because it can't be real. Can't be too thoughtful.
But you do want it to be memorable. You want it to stick.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like having a gigantic arm and hand. You know what I mean? Because I'm imagining like having a Hulk hand.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's gigantism, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually had
like everything's perfectly proportioned. It's just gigantic. Like my arm would just be huge.
What is it? There was a student at my high school that had gigantism. It was a really tall Asian cat.
Mm.
No, he wasn't on the basketball team. He passed away a few years ago.
Yeah.
A while ago, actually. Yeah, it was fucked up.
I was about to say rest in peace before you said that. I'm glad it didn't. Glad it didn't. Been a real shitty thing to say. How you doing, Rob? Ready to rock and roll?
Yes, we're good. Good, all good. Posted good. Good.
All right. Go ahead and start recording that audio, Chris.
Oh yeah. All right.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, Endless Ranters. Welcome back for episode 116 of your Endless Ranters podcast. Thanks for watching, listening, and subscribing. We truly appreciate the support. My name's Chris, and I'm one of your hosts for this evening. I'm joined by the one and only Robbie Spotlight. What up, Robbie?
What up, homies?
What up to you, homie? And then there's a man with the plan. It's producer Manny. What's going down, old man?
Hello. Good to be here. How y'all doing?
Doing all right. You okay?
I just found my next submission for this episode's Germany or Florida.
Oh, you just did? Okay. You just
Yeah.
sounded. Yeah. I mean, it sounds kind of depressing because you sound very subdued. You know what I mean?
That's
You
just
didn't call anybody a hoe or.
I know.
I'll be honest with you. I was drawing a blank with what the fuck to reply to Chris today, but I just was caught off guard, and I was just like, let me just go boring and.
Okay. Well, we appreciate your honesty, and we will now move on from your segment of the show. So, what is going to happen? So, what's going to happen today? We're going to catch up a little bit on life, right? Just daily going, the weekly goings on. Rob posted a question about yesterday about things that caused you wonderment. That was like a topic on ACS, I understand, and
That's right.
maybe with a focus on technology and things that just maybe blew you away the first time. Then we're going to go do some topic by meme, copyright, trademark, registered, something. Shared some pics today as our episode preview. I'm pretty sure that when you share memes and these Facebook posts, they just don't get seen. I don't know. Anyway, I shared there was a FBI that raided Trump, so they're wheeling out cases of Diet Coke. That was one, and then Anne Heche caught on fire, so she's burnt to a crisp.
Oh, that's not funny. Yeah.
Well, I call well, we'll get into it, but I call bullshit.
Yeah.
Coma business, whatever. I can do a coma. Anybody can do a coma. I can pretend like I'm in a coma anytime I want. Anyway, then the last one was Alex Jones, and it was either about him or he's always in the news for something. I'm okay with it, really, because I'm okay with him being in the news once every now and then, because he's such a cartoon character of a man. So it's kind of funny. But yeah, there's one about him too. Yeah, that's it. So how you guys doing?
Good. Well, I'm wearing my Grease Rydell High t-shirt for those watching on YouTube in honor of Olivia Newton-John. May she rest in peace.
Oh yeah. Oh man, yeah. I'm glad you brought her up, because it's been a few days since she passed away, so she'd kind of almost forgotten about it. That's how it is these days, so many things happening, but yeah. So you'd been sharing pictures recently on your social media
crazy
of your days in Greece.
Yeah, that's yeah. It's funny. I completely forgot about those pictures. I kid you not. And actually, my brother just sent me a couple of those pictures a couple of days ago. Well, no, I think 2 days ago. He's like, "Hey, check it out." Then I just started sharing them, and I don't know. I thought they'd be interesting to.
Well, I just want to let you know that I did see them. I'm a little uncomfortable seeing my friends in musicals. So I didn't, but what character did you play? What part were you playing? Tell us more about your role. And
what's funny is looks like former guest Ira, him and we played the same role in high school. We played Roger.
Either way.
Wait, you guys attended the same high school?
No. Different high schools, different years.
He played the redheaded. He played the redheaded Hispanic greaser, or you played the you played the black-haired Jewish guy.
Yeah, no, his name was Roger, but in the movie his name is Putsy.
Okay.
Yeah, and I that play I joined it last minute. They were looking for like 2 or 3 other people that that they required a couple more roles to be filled, and I was one of the last additions, and it was fun. I danced, I sang. I was actually kind of afraid because there were some of the dance moves required me flipping over and landing on my butt, literally like kind of like I don't know if it's not a somersault, but it's just a head flip or whatever, and just me landing on my butt at one point. Yeah, so I'm sure there's a video somewhere. But that was fun, just kind of scary. I had one of those mics with the headset mics, so that was fun as well.
All right, Manny, cue up the music. Take it away.
And you know what's funny is I'm sure our friend Luis, actor, thespian Luis Maya, he'll probably vouch for this. I was a little weird, well, not weirded out, but pleasantly weirded out. At one point when I'm doing this play, we start like getting dressed and undressed. We don't have a dressing room, and I'm like, where do I get dressed?
Right to the bathroom.
Our backstage area was like a big space. So thankfully I was in better shape back then, so I was like, okay, whatever.
No long, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, that was fun. We played.
They're like, Rob, there are some curtains. Rob, like, sir, there is a bathroom. He's like,
so yeah, the typical uniform, blue jeans, leather jacket, white t-shirt. I bought a pair of Converse All-Stars for that play. The low what is it?
Were the Chuck Taylors, or were they like the low ones? The low
they were the same brand, but they were, you know what? I think they were the Chuck Taylors. But you know what's funny is I think right when the play ended, our third, the last one, someone took my pair of shoes, and someone took them. I know. The last picture, well, I shared two of the last pictures that I shared were of me getting pants. I got pantsed. Pants, is that a past tense? Pants, getting pantsed.
I heard. I gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah. So what they did was in the play, he gets pants by the other greasers, but the one of the prop people kind of cut on the sides, cut it and then put Velcro. That way they can kind of Velcro off and pull down. And then just in case, because I didn't want them seeing my unit.
No wardrobe
malfunction. Exactly. So I wore regular, briefs underneath, and then some boxers over that. At one point I wore like boxers with like roses on them. And then another point they were like with hearts. That way, hopefully they could kind of see the, maybe make some people laugh. So that's one of the pictures. The last one that I just posted today was of my music teacher, Ms. Gonzalez, who I had a little crush on back in the day. She came to see me, so that was pretty cool. I impressed the teacher. But that was fun, fun play, Grease, and anyways, she passed away, Olivia Newton-John, and my brother sent me some pictures. So I said, yeah, what the heck? Might as well share with my friends some of the old pictures.
I remember loving that woman before I knew what love was as a man.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I loved her.
Yeah.
Not man loved her yet. Yeah. But like, cause I haven't seen Grease, the movie, since I was a small kid and my sister would watch it, But yeah, like most, like I feel like every girlfriend or woman I've ever dated it like has known the words to Grease, like knows the whole thing, right? Like that's a thing. There's a certain age bracket of woman, maybe a pretty large range there, that knows the entire, like every word to every song of that movie.
Yeah. Oh,
but then she had the physical, right? She had a few other songs, and she was on Solid Gold, and she was always like top 40 and always had one of the hit videos on MTV playing.
Yeah, when they played videos.
Yeah.
No,
I didn't even think about doing like one of those wrong face memes to her.
I know.
Didn't even think, it didn't even cross my mind. Well, it crossed my mind now.
There is a bridge too far for Chris.
It did cross it crossed my mind. I just decided not to do it.
Out of respect. Okay.
Yeah. I'm a good person.
That song that they played on ACS was fucking really
Yeah, I love that
catchy.
song. Yes, yes, yeah. That kind of did it. I was like, oh my god, I could like see myself. I was like, I don't know how old I was. I was like 8 years old again,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I'm like at the house, and my sister is like just obsessed with this music, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not that
her
even-
voice
Yeah,
was
go ahead.
angelic. It really was. It's beautiful. I did share on one of the posts. I said that her voice, two of the most angelic voices that I can remember from the 70s were hers and Karen Carpenter from the Carpenters.
Shout out to
yeah,
Karen Carpenter, man. She's
yeah.
dope.
Just
Shout
a
out
little
to
sidetrack, but on like these old movies that you've watched, right? Like I wonder sometimes, like, so I remember there's old Disney movies like cartoons, like Jungle Book.
yeah.
And I remember being obsessed with that movie, right? And if I would just start talking, I would tell you I've seen it, you know, I saw it a million times when I was a kid. But I haven't, right? And like our kids now, they'll watch a movie and they literally have seen it a million times. They own
Yeah.
it. It's right, you know, just over and over and over. But then when I said that to my mom and she was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "Yeah, what do I mean? Because we didn't have a VCR. You
Mhm.
couldn't just buy Jungle Book,
Yeah.
but it was the music." So like I'm thinking about like that made me thinking about the same thing in Greece is that like I really haven't seen that movie since I was like single digits age, right?
Oh,
But
wow.
like I feel like I have because I've
Uh-huh.
heard the music,
Sure.
you know, 1,000 times since then, you know. So
What's your
anyway,
favorite song?
I don't know.
Oh, here you are proclaiming.
What was
be-
Hopelessly Devoted? Was that
Oh.
that was part of Greece, right? That's like the
it
one
was,
that like, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a wonderful song. I mean, not to, you know,
It was iconic. Like she was an
It-
iconic beauty
yeah.
in that period, that timepiece. You know, I know like you look back now and a lot of it doesn't make sense, or it's like, what, like what was going on in society back then? But
Yeah. Like now
it
it's
was just, yeah, it was just something special, I think.
now, you know, she would probably be told to not be so hopelessly devoted to a guy, you know, hey,
yeah, yeah.
woman power, which I understand. Don't, you know, like I've heard the saying before, what does it go? Not when in a relationship, not all the love or the money. So just reserve a little bit for you. You know what I mean?
Well, maybe that kind of attitude will come back, make it come back like bell bottoms.
Yeah. But yeah, the hits from Greece are, yeah, Hopelessly Devoted to You. You're the one that I want. Summer Nights, of course. And you know what? The movie bombed, not Greece, but some of the songs were good. Xanadu, even Xanadu, the song was not that bad.
Was that from the movie?
It was from the movie Xanadu, not
But the
Grease.
movie Xanadu, not movie
Yes.
Grease. Right. Okay,
Correct.
okay,
It was
yeah.
not
I don't
from
think I've ever
Grease.
seen Xanadu. That looked to a young child like that
Yeah.
looked weird, and it's like, no, words don't start with X. Get out of here.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah. Well, now they do.
I think they always have.
Yeah.
So, what do you stand on the word xylophone and X-ray?
Hey, I just admitted I can be wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes you can.
I've evolved on this position.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah.
That brings back a lot of memories.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I think that, yeah, like I literally, like, I would think that I'd seen that movie so many times, but I
Mhm.
didn't. But it was probably like back then they would use pop music in commercials. I mean, they do it now, but they also,
Yeah.
like, there's just millions of commercials. But like back then there weren't that many commercials, and they would use, like, if something was a big hit, guaranteed they're using Grease to sell cereal, shampoo, cars, whatever. They're jamming that music out. They're trying to use images.
Actual grease.
Yeah, maybe the actors, maybe parts of the, you know, like, so I think that just that's kind of how it's ingrained in my memory, is not just actually seeing it, because I think I would have seen it like maybe in the movie theater.
Yeah. The drive-in.
Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe.
Well, for those,
But then heard the music played so many times.
well, speaking of music, I think that movie was geared towards, you know, the young folks. I'm assuming, I mean, for everybody, right? But if you listen to the lyrics for for Grease Lightning, for example, some of the lyrics are, of course, they're talking about the car, Grease Lightning. That's the name of the car. Well, some of the lyrics are, you know that it ain't shit. We'll be getting lots of tit. That's some of the lyrics. And then we'll purple pitch tail lights and 30-inch. Well, a few other ones that are kind of, like, oh, there you go. You know that I ain't bragging. She's a real pussy wagon.
So like, what? I mean, yeah. So I guess I didn't realize that because I don't go out looking for grease a lot, but I didn't realize that it had been Me Too'd a little bit, or like canceled a little bit, or whatever. I don't know why we do that, because we had Grease. It was a thing. It was very popular. Like everybody watched it. Everybody saw it. Yet we still evolved as a society. Whoa. Yeah. Yet we still evolved as a society. You know, so it's like, I don't know. We have to try to, I mean, this is commonplace, common discussion, is trying to delete the past as if it didn't happen instead of like seeing how it shaped us.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, maybe there's some good parts of that, like how, I don't know. Doesn't hurt that, I guess I don't really remember the details, but the dudes were after the girls in those movies. They were trying to do things to impress the women, and didn't, wanted to compliment them, and were uncomfortable, like maybe it's sometimes awkward or uncomfortable, and like, some truth to all those things too. So
well, another some of the lyrics are, you are supreme, the chicks will cream for grease lightning. So but like you said, the guys were trying to since cars were invented, I'm sure guys were trying to impress the ladies, or the chicks, as they would say back in the day, with their grease lightning.
I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, like, but women learn just as much from that, like whether it's right or wrong, like women learn just as much from those movies as men do, and like about kind of the birds and the bees and how things work and how the chase goes. So I don't know.
So what you're saying, Chris, is that sex ed should be taught via musicals. I get you.
Well, it's funny you should say that. Because my son, today was the first day of school here.
Oh, okay.
So my girls' first day of kindergarten, so that was a big deal, but they handled it well. My boy, first day of fifth grade, so he was bummed out tonight dinner because he said he had to start learning like sex ed. They told him there could be those classes, and he's just dreading it. So I was like, I'll just explain everything to you beforehand. and get up in front of class, tell everybody what's up.
You know what's funny? We were having sex ed. Well, not so young actually, but I raised my hand at one point. I might have said this before, but I asked the teacher, Mrs. Whatever Erickson, I think it was. What if you don't know how to do it? And then everybody was like, huh? What? I'm sure, at least a quarter of the class had already either done it or been fondled or something. A
devious or like a scoundrel of a dad could really like F a teacher's world up and just give his kids a bunch of terms that kids have no idea what they mean. So like, ask your teacher what this means. You heard it. You saw it on the internet. Anyway, so that was good. Yeah, this was a big day. It was a big day.
Okay.
It's up early and walked the kids to school and to their classroom today and all that.
Is it walking distance?
Yeah. We live it's about, I don't know, 7 or 8 minutes maybe.
Okay, nice.
So we live pretty close.
Good.
When my son rides his bike, it's really quick, but it's a little muggy. So I think that might be the first and last day this year until it gets cooler, because it's not that hot, but it's still kind of muggy in the morning. So by the time I got home, I was like, breaking a sweat.
Right. Novelty's worn off.
Yeah, I'd be like, we're going to try the carpool lane tomorrow. But yeah, that was fun. Yeah, both my kids' teachers seem older, so I'm happy about that, because recently, like a lot of teachers, like in elementary school, are really young. And to me, it's just more like, experience is important, I think, at that age. So my son's teacher is a woman of color, so I assume this may be a racial stereotype, but I think I assume she takes no shit. So so I'm happy about that. I asked her when we walked in. I said, "Where's the form? Where's the waiver I signed for corporal punishment?" She thought that was funny. So I think we're.
Oh,
I
that's
think
funny. Good.
I think everything's good there.
Good. And you said she was a little older?
Both of them
Okay.
are. Yeah, both of them are. Yeah. So I think this school is making an effort to get more experienced staff because the school's only like 5 or 6 years old.
Oh, good. Good. Okay. Good.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good time. Yeah.
My stepson yesterday, he started school on Monday. Yesterday, he told me that these two kids were bullying him. He just
So it
recently,
begins.
I
But
know.
what did you get him to define what that means though?
Exactly. I know. Well, it seemed like they kind of were. Well, they were making fun of him. He a couple months ago he lost one front tooth. Then, like a couple weeks later, he lost the other front tooth. So he told us, "Yeah, this kid, Jason, and some other kid, they said that I have broken teeth." And
It's always some fucker named Jason starting shit.
I know, right? But I told him, I was like, just tell him, okay, that's fine. And I just say that's fine, because a lot of these bullies don't like it when you say, yeah, that's fine. Okay.
You mentioned last week, you kind of touched on this last week, and I missed an
Mhm.
opportunity because my advice is go nuclear.
Go like berserk on them.
No, like tell them like if the kid says you have broken teeth, just be
Yeah.
like, I
You have a
heard
broken home.
Yeah, just be like, well, no, because that's probably like nowadays it's like 80% of everybody.
Yeah, that's normal.
I was
That's
gonna
Modern
say
Family.
like I heard like your dad's gay or whatever, but then you're in San Francisco, so that'd be like
yeah, that's
you're
half
like
of 'em.
It's like, yeah, and
3/4 of the
what do you-
class would be like, what of it?
Yeah, and
But no, like just be like, I heard your mommy tell the teacher that your teeth are never going to grow in.
yeah.
Like something real devastating. Like,
Yeah,
real
you-
devastating.
You've got that same thing from the kid from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I heard your mommy tell the teacher that, you won't have grown up teeth.
Yeah.
So you plant that little seed of like, now this kid's thinking like, all day, this kid's gonna be like,
Yeah.
waiting to get home because he's like,
Yeah, I know.
Am I gonna-
Mom, Dad,
am I gonna have grown up teeth? Am I gonna have grown up teeth?
yeah.
But he said I was gonna have grown up teeth. Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, go nuclear. Be like,
And you need
it's
to
get
find an
hurtful.
actual specific condition and Google it and give them like a detailed.
Yeah.
Oh, it's called this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's called
just
this.
like I heard your mommy tell the teacher, and then just like think up anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That'd be my advice. Go nuclear and just end it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's the equivalence of like when your first day in prison.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You
you
know
gotta
what
go and beat
like,
someone
yeah,
down.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
So okay, that's the 7-year-old. The 16-year-old, because I've got a 16-year-old.
But I don't think that's
stepson.
bullying. Okay,
No,
I'm sorry.
no,
I
it's
don't think
making
that's
fun.
bullying.
I told them, look, kids, eventually, I told them, you know what my mom told me? If they ever talk bad about me, about my mom, just say, okay, that's fine. You don't even know my mom, and that's it.
You show me a kid who hasn't made fun of someone else's appearance, and I'll show you a lying little son of a gun.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah. Like, be like, yeah, the other day you said something about your sister, your brother, or whatever. Or like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so, and did you, and not that like, so you should never do it again. It's more like, did you mean it?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
like, and it's, yeah. Did that person die? No, they didn't.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
was there some, were you about to tell a story like real bullying? And I'm going to feel bad.
Not real. No. So far, not real bullying. So he's the 7-year-old. He already started class. The 16-year-old starts class next week. Now, the wife was a little concerned. My wife was concerned because he was on the phone a lot. They just got back from Mexico a few days ago from seeing their grandparents. So he was on the phone a lot, and I told her, and we were kind of talking about it. Maybe he's got friends, maybe a girlfriend. So she actually talked to him, and I think he gets a little shy around me. So she talked to the kid, the 16-year-old, and she said, "Hey, everything okay?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah. You've been on the phone a lot. You have a girlfriend, or boyfriend. And he's like, no.
Partner.
Yeah, I know. But I guess there's a girl that he's talking to. And I told her, I said, just make him understand you don't want to be a grandma right now.
Mhm.
And then we're gonna teach him, to respect the ladies.
Yeah.
But no grandmas right now. We don't want any grandmas at home.
Yeah, I think a few weeks ago I was talking about how like I don't really talk to my sister that much. So when she calling, I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
Same thing, like when like you got a kid that's around that age and you get like a bad feeling or like we need to talk about Johnny. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I know.
Like, oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there another mouth? Is there gonna be another mouth to feed?
Oh, seriously, yeah. I don't because
yeah.
we're expecting our girl
Yep.
December 1st. So yeah. So, but yeah, that's about it. That's been dealing with that with the kids at home and stuff like that, and yeah. We're good. Thankfully, everything's all right. Some work stuff, had to deal with some work complaints, but that's another story. I can let Manny talk. I've talked enough.
Well, one of our strategies is keep the kids. We're gonna just keep the kids so busy. There's no time for shenanigans.
Oh yeah,
or there will be, but it's like we're gonna minimize that.
Oh, for sure.
You can be so damn tired.
Oh no kidding. Yeah. We're talking about doing like an after school program thing. So I think we're gonna go check that out this week.
Are there a set of activities they have lined up, or is it just one specific?
There's like a rec center. There's a couple. There's a couple places. One of them helps the kids with homework, and it is paid, but it's not a crazy amount. And thankfully, I think they or he would get picked up from school, and that would give us enough time to go and pick them up. So,
nice.
Yeah. And then schoolwork, and then games and chess and all that stuff. So, yeah.
I'm done with that.
So, Manny, how you doing, man? You said earlier today you felt like we were living in a Christopher Nolan movie.
I was just being a doofus, really.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
You know how Ace would? Oh, well, not would. He often talks about how realizing adults are dumb at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
I would just feel odd about witnessing everything I've been witnessing lately, and it's just like, I don't want to say this all feels outrageous, but this is all pretty outrageous. So it's just like I'm stoned half the time, just wondering like, what timeline am I in right now?
Yeah, so I guess you're talking about some of the political stuff going on these days, and
not just here abroad. It's just
man.
It makes me think about other events throughout history. It's just like how much of this is just like a echo or a repetition of just humans being humans, just in this day and age.
Yeah, man. I spent like the greater part of my day worrying about fucking robot police dogs coming after me. You know what I mean? I showed you that video.
Yeah.
That I don't care. I mean, they show you this video, and first it's like, oh, they're doing this in China, and then all of a sudden they throw in, well, in Oahu.
Yeah.
In Oahu during COVID, they were using these robot police dogs to go and scan the homeless to see if they had a fever.
Wow.
Like, all right. Okay. And then I guess in New York, where they rolled these things out, like they were freaking people out, they had to shut it down because people were so freaked out. Like,
they should have gradually introduced them and be like, look, we got some robot dogs, but
yeah, man,
they're for the rats. Don't worry about it. They'll just be there handling the rats.
Yeah, I mean,
and then that's when you slowly start introducing more and more until they're just like, oh, they're just rat dog, rat cop dogs. Like,
yeah. Well, we're gonna need a constitutional amendment for this, and it's gonna need to be the one of two things. Either you can't use. I mean, I'm fine. Robots. I know they're everywhere. Right behind you. No, but you just can't use them as police dogs. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have like a friendly robot, looking
think
thing.
of the actual canine, actual German shepherds. How do
I don't
they
want to see a
feel?
robot hopping down the. No. It's got like a damn monitor on its face. You know, as a
Yeah.
face, it's got a monitor. No, man. So
Oh.
either they need to outlaw that or make it legal for everyone to have a rocket launcher. We got to defend ourselves against these police
Yeah.
robot dogs.
Yeah.
All right,
It's a
look,
threat.
I'm
It's a threat.
I'm not.
You just wait, Robbie.
condoning-
You know, wait till your kids get rounded up by a police
Oh, yeah.
robot dog.
You know what? It's all. What's a little scarier than that is remember Invasion of the Body Snatchers with Donald Sutherland. There's a scene where a
Mm-hmm. How
dog.
can I not?
Yeah.
Classic.
There's a scene where a dog has like a human head, human head for a head.
Oh yeah,
Remember
yeah.
that? What is that? Is that like a dream
Oh,
sequence?
that
Or
and like the thing, like the movie thing.
Yeah.
What Carpenter?
Yeah.
The thing, like
The
where there's
Thing
like
with
dog,
Kurt
like people
Russell, yeah.
dog shaped things coming out of people.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Invasion of the Body Snatcher, that first one, that would have probably scared me more, except for all those bee and tarantula movies that came out around the same time. They kind of like put Invasion of the Body Snatchers as probably a little less likely to happen because I was convinced that the bees and tarantulas were coming
Yeah.
and going to get me on a school bus one day when I'm just on a field trip. I'm just on a
Yeah.
field trip and I'm going to get attacked by tarantulas and bees at the same time.
Yeah. You got to cover all the vents.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
windows.
Every single one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Every single one. Anyway. I forgot what
Yeah,
we're talking about. Yeah. So these robot police dogs, I saw this video and the video is only 2 minutes long, but man, it'll take up a lot of your day. Can't have it. Or I'm going to have something, my own police, my own robot dog.
Yeah.
Turnabout's fair play.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Manny was talking. Yeah, it's a crazy world. I'm glad that someone else is noticing. You know what I mean? Because I don't really I try not to we were talking earlier, like you could say something that you could. It's a time in America where you could walk up to anyone and be like, "This is some crazy shit, huh?" And there'd be like 10 different ways the conversation can go. We were talking about that before we started. Yeah, it's crazy times.
Yeah.
So I don't go up to people and be like, I don't say that like, "Hey man, what kind of crazy stuff you want to talk about?" I'm just like curious if someone else brings it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. That is crazy. Yeah.
Other people though, like out of the blue, like people that you talk to that you don't really think are political, like at work or would have been say something. You're just like, "Oh yeah, I didn't realize they were paying attention."
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like sometimes I agree with half the stuff I talk to my coworkers about, and the rest I'm like, okay, I'll just nod and be like, yeah, I know what you mean.
I value people that I meet and talk to about that. I value their if they're unpredictable to me, or if their responses and reactions to things that happen, like cultural things that happen, are unpredictable. I value that because I know they don't see things like, they don't see everything to the prism of like, what does my side say? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I better wait for the View to, I want to get the View's take on this before I give my take on this. Like,
oh man.
So, even if you disagree with people, if I don't know, you kind of, if you're curious to know what other people think and you want to have their sincere thoughts, and yeah, even if you don't agree with people, if you think people are independent or thinkers, then it's great.
Yeah. I can't deal with
They'll take it all day long.
Yeah. I can't deal with listening to or talking about shows like The View or The Talk or The Real, which are all real shows, and they all have the Real has like 3.
I don't know if I know what that is.
I think The Real has, I don't know if it's the one with Darlene from Roseanne, 3 African American ladies, 1 Asian woman that was a singer, R&B singer, and kind of just even probably dumber than The View.
Never seen it, never heard of it, and I feel pretty good about that.
Oh yeah,
I feel like that's a sign of success.
Don't even look it up unless you want to feel dumber or
you have to do kind of like as The View. I mean, it's just, to me it's grotesque, but it's like you do have to kind of respect the longevity of it. and like
Yeah.
the fact, and maybe respect's not the right word, but recognize that it plays a role in modern society. And I don't know if back in old and ancient Rome, there was just, there was a corner of the street where there were really annoying shrews like shouting all their stuff, and then like a few blocks over, you had Plato and Aristotle and
Yeah.
other guys that have had their heads carved into stone.
It's
And then like a
Dialogue
few
Square,
blocks,
everybody.
like down in like the crappy sections of town, that you couldn't get that, like, you'd have like, Joy Behar, those morons like spewing garbage. And
Yeah.
like that, but that's the only thing people like, could get. So gotta solve that historical mystery, didn't we?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, man, we were just talking about our crazy world. And
It's all right,
talking
though.
about like how we were talking about like the you could just walk up to anybody and be like, there's crazy shit going on, and it could just be anything. It could be so many things. It could be a dozen celebrity or sports stories, it could be politics, it could be so many things. It could be local, it could be national.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is crazy. There are a lot of weird things, like you mentioned, like Christopher Nolan, like movies, like weird, like movie like scenes that you're seeing in HD. You know what I mean? So it's like you're not seeing Tiananmen Square and the Tank Man like in like grainy, 1990 some, TV. You're seeing like, what was it? What is it? What's the is it Madagascar? What, like there's like a small country where that's basically just falling apart. I'm drawing a blank, but I think it's an island nation. And they instituted all these environmental things and like all these systems that didn't work.
Australia,
for their farming. No, it's like, I think it's off the coast of Africa, but like you see like in HD, like drone footage of like all the people storming the Capitol building and just.
Oh, that's right.
You know.
Isn't it Sri Lanka? Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I knew it was 2 words too.
Yeah.
It's tricky Islanders. But yeah, like you just see it in real time in HD, and it's like, oh, that looks like a movie. That looks like that scene in World War Z.
Yeah, for
where
sure.
like all the massive people like in CGI are taking over a building or something.
Yeah.
Wild. Yeah, wild
Great
stuff.
movie, by the way.
Fun
Yeah.
fact,
And then we were saying like
Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka.
It used to go by the name Sloan. Anyway, continue, Chris.
Go by the name of what? What was it?
Sloan, CLON.
CLON.
And I think there's an E after that, but can't be too sure. But yes, Sloan.
Cool.
Anyway.
Okay.
What else? We were talking about that beforehand. We were and like how, I mean, it kind of goes into the first meme. Donald Trump his house got raided. Everybody knows that by now.
Oh yeah.
Everybody knows that by now. It's been it's literally been it's been 48 hours since it ended, and it's like we're just kind of on the next thing, right? We're on like the next outrage about
yeah,
whatever. And it's just become normal, or maybe it's not. I don't know.
Have a inquiry, not really, but do you think that photo op with the FBI agent hauling off the X amount of cases of Diet Coke did any good for their sales? Like if they're spiked after that?
I bet you Coca-Cola brand is very happy about it.
But wait a minute.
Yes, because is that what you're talking about? Yeah, like the meat. Yeah, I know. Like, I'm gonna go ahead and just roll along as if he knows that. Like that he knows that there wasn't a pallet of Diet Coke and McDonald's bags carried out by FBI agents.
The McDonald's bag did throw me. It's like, no, wait, he's not home. But I do.
That's a lot of trash.
Yeah.
Well, he could be home any minute.
Yeah.
But no, like I remember, I think there was like a 60-minute segment. This is back in the 80s or 90s when like the Coke war, like Coke versus Pepsi, and both companies were just like, everybody does it now. It's common. Like companies just borrow millions to do advertising, but like they would spend insane amounts of money on advertising. And it was just like carpet bombing. And I think, just to break it all down, the interviewer was like, does it work? And they're like, yes, it does. Like, how do you know? Well, when we stop, our sales stop.
Okay.
Like they've tested, like when we just ratchet it down like 30%, so instead of like all your TV ads being Coke, there's just, 70% of them being Coke, people drink less Coke. So I think,
Yeah.
yeah, for them, it's like all about just, numbers.
Speaking of companies and numbers and sales and all that stuff. So my wife works at a building that is where the I guess headquarters of I don't know, like a tech company that
Mhm.
you will find on your phone that you might download on your phone. Anyways, they were having some financial meetings this week, and I just found this out. I don't think I'd ever heard this before. She said that whenever they have these financial calls and their conference calls, that take place, and where they're talking about money and whatever. She says that they outside of the conference rooms they play music somewhat loud,
Mhm.
so anybody walking past by won't hear that. I had never heard of that before. I'm that sounds crazy, but I can see it because there's so many people that either might work there, pass by, or some janitor or some
Dude, janitor could
passerby.
could
Yeah.
have like 6 figures in an E-Trade account. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
yeah.
Be like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I've never heard of that specifically before, but yeah, I could see where they would.
Yeah.
There'd be someone would have a job, like someone in compliance would have a job that would, their job would be to make sure
Mhm.
that none of that, nothing is overheard or things are
Mhm.
secure. So
Yeah.
or
That's-
maybe they just love jazzercise. Maybe
Yeah.
is that the company? Is that the tech company?
Yeah, that's right. It's actually one of
Jazzercise.com.
those Japanese companies, where the Japanese companies they go to the roof and they do their exercise all together. Like, yeah, that's
Oh yeah,
them.
I've seen Gung Ho, the movie. Mm-hmm. What's another crazy thing? In this crazy world of like what's going on? Like who's doing this? Is that Amazon is now going to buy Roomba?
Oh, really? Oh, that's crazy.
So basically, like, do we not? Is there not? I mean, I remember growing up in school, like hearing about like antitrust and like how the government was like, one of their jobs is like to stop companies from just like owning everything. It's like, shouldn't someone be like, no. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, but it seems like I don't think they get this far in these deals without them already knowing that we've already got someone paid off that's going to approve this deal. But yeah. And the weird thing is like, Roombas, one of the things that Roombas brag about is they are able to recognize more and more things in your home. Wires, phones,
Yay.
devices,
Mm-hmm.
like recognize more shapes. Like,
Yeah.
this is a chair. Oh, that's an Alexa device. That's a Google Hub over there.
Yeah.
Like, so they brag about how their Roomba devices can just walk and scan, and recognize items in your house.
Yeah.
So now this device is like, now so Amazon, not only are they listing everything, but now they've got a device that's like rolling around your house, just scanning all your shit. Like
It's
they
not
know
even
exactly,
vacuuming.
I mean, you're giving like now Amazon knows the square footage of your living
Yeah.
room.
The ladies can't.
She's like,
keep
we're not going
their-
to show you. Now we'll just show you sofas and things that will just fit exactly.
No.
We know where you live. Well,
The ladies can't keep their rabbits under their bed anymore. They have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
That'd be a weird place
crazy.
to leave
It's
them.
crazy. It's crazy. But you have so many people walking down the aisle
Yeah.
of Bed Bath and Beyond being like,
Yeah.
honey, maybe should we get the knockoff Roomba or get the Roomba can recognize 85 different devices in your things in your house.
I
You're
have
like,
I got it.
sold.
I know what this is. I know the
Sold,
sinister subplot to all this.
What is it?
Mhm.
Amazon's going to get into owning into real estate, so they're just like slowly plotting out to see which houses it would suit them best to purchase one by one.
That's true. Like a Roomba knows if you're a place that fucking dump. Roomba's giving you a rating. It's like an Uber rating, but Roomba's like sending a signal back home, like these people are nasty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're having to go back to the dock and empty out like every 20 square feet.
Yeah.
Versus they're also, I mean, they know right away you have a dog.
Oh yeah.
Because you're probably, when you set up your Roomba, we don't have one, but when you set it up, you're probably telling the Roomba, yes, we have a dog.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Here's how many rooms we have.
Yeah.
Here's how many kids we have in our home. Like, just like,
yeah.
It's just, but then, people want that. So it's kind of a strange thing because, Most
You know, I
people,
think
like these things are happening because people want them.
I don't want them.
The
Fuck that.
convenience.
There's a lot of people that want them.
Amazon and their gadgets and their services, they're turning to be like the Navy SEALs, because you know how the Navy SEALs their thing is sea, air, land. So far Amazon, they have the drones, and then now they're going to have land, which is the Roomba, and now we're going to wait for sea. There's going to be some sea, like little submarine that'll deliver from bay to bay or something.
Yeah, like they crossed the line a long time ago. Yeah, it's like it's just a little. And we've all seen Idiocracy, right? We've all seen that. We've all seen Wall-E.
Welcome to Costco.
when the Earth's run by Costco, basically. Like we've all seen this, right?
Yeah.
Oh Lord, we're so stupid. Anyway, but yeah, so Trump got raided. They were in his house for like 9 days or 9 hours. Sorry, 9 hours.
Like 9 days. Damn.
Yeah, it is pretty weird, and you know, a lot of people are freaking out about it. And I have to admit, like, yeah, it's kind of disturbing, because in recent times it seems like, you know, things are kind of going one way, and there's like two systems of justice, as everybody's saying these days. But like, I do try to always think like, but what about my mom? You know, like my mom's generation, my parents' generation. It's like, well, they, you know, their president was assassinated. Like,
oh yeah.
So I mean, you know, so yes, it is the first time that, you know, the former president, their house has been raided or whatever. And, you know, we know things are so contentious right now, but, you know, it wasn't that long ago. Like our parents' generation had a president that got assassinated, like a sitting president got assassinated. And like, you know, Japan, like one of their former prime ministers, I think, Abe, I think he was assassinated in the street, but he's a former politician, very popular, but former. But like, yeah, their generation had a sitting president, you know, killed. So I mean, I think that, yeah, I don't know how to put those two things in perspective, really. You know, because one is obviously a lot worse.
Yeah.
You know, than you know, Donald Trump getting raided. It's like, you know, and then it draws people into this thing where they start defending Trump as if he's a good person.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
It's like, oh, we feel sorry for the guy. Oh,
yeah, you get in this trap, like that's not right, and then you're just like, yeah, it isn't, but it's like, yeah, I don't know. Then you're defending a dick, you know. But
yeah,
you know, that it made me think today on the way home, like Adam Carolla, you know, how he says like he does those Dantana or whatever those like old Vegas commercials were. It's like, to catch a rapist, he had to become a rapist. To become a jewel thief, he had to become a jewel thief. It's like to expose all the pieces of shit, terrible people in our government. Like we had to elect a terrible piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know, like that, you know, really is just, you know, not a great character. I know he symbolizes a lot of things, whatever, you know, he's kind of anti a lot of things that gives him a lot of power, but yeah, not a good person by any means, but exposed a lot of really terrible people too.
Sure. What I was listening to on one of the clips that I was watching, like on the news, they were talking about him and DeSantis, and they were basically saying that Trump really didn't. He said, you know, I'm going to drain the swamp. I'm going to drain the swamp. He didn't really drain really much. You know, but
no, he didn't. I mean, he had like a personal swamp, because for 4 years it was just a revolving door of people, like him hiring people that were kind of part of the old system, or maybe could have one foot in both, and it just flaming out. I'm sure he's got more than half the responsibility in those relationships crumbling, you know, because he is the way he is. Doesn't seem like a person that's like easy to get along with or compromising in any way, you know. Unless you like kind of bend the knee. But yeah, it's
would you compare him to Homelander?
No, I don't think so. I think for all his faults, I think that this is just my gut sense. And don't get me wrong, I think Donald Trump, number one priority for him is himself, but I think he cares more about the country than the average politician, personally. Maybe because he's already kind of set, you know, maybe he's already fine. Like his brand is in the USA. But I don't know. That's just my gut feeling.
Yeah.
He hasn't been in Congress, in the Senate, and in government for the last 50 years, selling us all down the river. I'm sure he's bought from other, I'm sure he's not helped, but he hasn't been the one signing the laws. So
Well, it's kind of like when
he
9/11
benefits from
happened.
it.
They interviewed him right that same day or the next day after 9/11, and clearly he's a New York guy. He was upset, and and I don't know what he did. Like, I'm sure he's got his company with money, so he must have kind of helped.
What I want to say to and I think this is a legitimate response to the people that are like look down upon people that voted for Trump, or like kind of see some value in his presence in the political arena. Shit, I lost my train of thought, but like what was I? I'm sorry about that. I kind of
okay. What I'll say is regarding him, and I have a lot of evangelical friends who I had on my have on my Facebook, and my dad's a pastor. I've said this before, but I've had people share a whole bunch of stuff when he was running. Especially, there was a lady who would share like a Trump post every day, maybe twice, every day, and I'm like, dude, lady, just give it a freaking rest. Like, she was obviously a big fan, but some of these people thought that also he was the second coming of Christ. He was pure as a sheep, white, and like when I say white, I'm talking about purity. And no, come on, he had his dirt, he did his stuff. So don't act like he's Mr.
Okay, I found what I was going to say. So, like, to the people, like to the class of people, the type of people in power and just spectators, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who just detest him, right? And just find him despising, and just kind of like really just find people that voted for him, or like, again, see some value in him, like some value in with whatever his whatever he does to the political system. I think like fuck off. You made him. Fuck off. You made him. All you people in New York, politicians who wanted his money, TV producers, interviewers, news, every magazine and you're all in New York. Okay. So, Rolling Stone, it's not based out of Columbus, Ohio. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's in I don't know, but you know what I mean? Like, you fuckers made him. You go straight to hell. Because now you made him, and now you want to tell everybody you're terrible for liking him.
It's like
or anything, or like paying attention to him.
It's like the
just go straight to hell. You
the government's like the de facto father figure or parent figure is like, oh fuck, we're so embarrassed by him. Could have done so much better.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it seems like we've had a lot of incompetence going on the last couple decades, like extreme levels of incompetence. All very well documented. You don't really have to scratch the surface too hard. There's really no excuse for people not to know about it either. It's like just extreme levels of incompetence. Like, check back 5 years on what you thought and based your decision, your votes on, right? You voted for Obama because you thought healthcare should be more affordable. And it's like, 10 years later, everybody's paying more for health. Oh, how about that? How about that? Check back on why you voted the way you did 5 years ago, and just, do a little fact checking on yourself. And it's just like, it's all bullshit anyway. So okay. So I'm sorry. If you knew you were getting raided, Robbie, what would you leave out? What would you leave out on the coffee table to, make, because at some point there's going to be a leaked document that documents everything that was in Trump's house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Giant black veiny dildo.
Yeah.
Quantity 7. We're going to have an inventory. It's going to get leaked. Like, you want it to be good stuff, though.
Yeah. I would make sure, if I knew 24 hours, 48 hours prior, I'd go to Costco, buy myself a big box of, I don't know, Magnum condoms or something. And then
just go to town on yourself.
Yeah. And then the FBI, maybe just open a few and leave a few, like, empty wrappers. And then once they show up, I'm like, oh, sorry. Oh, wait a minute. Let me put this away. These extra large. I'd probably do that.
I get what you're going for.
Yeah.
So it's like, the dude has a gigantic dong.
Yeah, exactly.
However, he slings used condoms around his home
No,
like he just leaves
just the
used
wrappers. Just
Oh,
the wrappers.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Like,
Okay.
sorry.
But
I'm-
you're a little messy though. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I haven't.
I could see.
Exactly. I have no
could see
time
that.
to throw them in the bin, the garbage
Yeah.
bin.
I was
I'll
thinking
probably
for
flush-
Donald Trump, I was thinking, if he knew, he would leave out like just all American classic Playboys from like the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just all Baywatch girls. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
wow, this guy, like, just, he's into small American pornography, like
Yeah.
in magazine format too. Yeah.
Yeah. If I were
No.
Trump, I'd probably. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'd have a fake log of all the push-ups I had done every day, like a fake
That's right.
checklist.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Write a secret novel and then delete it so that no one knows. Check.
Yeah.
Like,
Speaking of size, I
earn
would
my
buy,
first million and give it all away without anybody knowing. Check.
Exactly. I would buy a pair of extra large gloves. Who said that he had small hands? Was it like Marco Rubio or someone?
Oh
that he had small-
yeah. Marco.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tried.
Yeah,
That-
he tried. You can't do it. You can't compare.
I loved it. I like to think about that moment because in his camp they were like, "Go with the small hands, dude. This is gonna kill. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna be the guy that took down Donald Trump at his own game."
Yeah.
And then Donald Trump was like, "Get out of here, Dumbo.
Yeah.
Like, take your big ears and fly." Oh, just totally destroyed him. He had to and you barely heard from him since then.
Oh,
Really,
man.
he's still a senator in Florida. You barely hear about Marco
Yeah.
Rubio since that slap, like that beatdown. Yeah.
Man, remember Rubio dry mouth gate? Remember when he did that thing and his mouth was dry, so he had to quickly take a sip of his water and put it back. He was recording like some speech, and then I think Trump made fun of
That
him
was the thing that's
'cause he
what
had
Trump would
dry
do. Like,
mouth.
I was about to say that then Trump had a video made of him taking all these sips, but he didn't even need to because the internet did it, and then Trump just shared it,
Yeah,
and millions of people.
yeah,
And everybody's just like, "Holy crap, that's funny!" And it's like, again, that's why people liked him, because that was funny. Why was that funny? Because you sons of bitches put him out there. You're the reason. For 3 decades prior, he was very popular and a household name.
yeah.
NBC, and all your executives, had that grab the pussy tape for years.
Oh yeah,
You made him a household name.
yeah.
And now you regret it, and you want to
Mhm.
just try to, like, mock people.
Sure.
So go straight to hell, all of you people, all of you, straight to hell.
I have to say, if I knew I was going to be raided, this is what
Yeah.
I would do. I would booby trap
like-
my house.
Yeah, all the stuff you wouldn't leave behind. Like,
I
Yeah.
would just booby trap the shit out of my house. I'd be like, all right, in every room there'd be just a bomb with some of the most potent smelling salts you've ever come across. And then after those bombs set off, those trigger off another Rube Goldberg type of mechanism that unleashes a flurry of just like very venomous poison snakes and spiders, millipedes or antipedes, whichever one of those, those
Yeah.
gross. Yeah. Just be like, look, surprise, you're raiding my house. Here's, have fun with dealing with this.
that's good.
And
That's fair.
an aquarium full of piranhas, just because no one ever really has an aquarium full of piranhas.
That's true. Well, I could see that being a Trump thing. Like, he would do that because he'd want that on an official FBI report.
Yeah.
Because I'm not even sure how people do this or how he does it, how other, people pull this off, but like, there'll be like all kinds of horrible stuff on the list, but there would be something like piranha tank,
Mhm.
Just something obscure and
and it would totally
random.
distract from the fact that it was like, like spent casings, the
Yeah.
Magruber, whatever the films were from the JFK thing.
Oh, those Zapruder films, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had a copy, like a HD copy or something. But it'd be like, no, he had a piranha tank, and they had MAGA carved
Yeah.
into the side of them. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know how he like comes out on top. So like somehow, and like, not that he does, not that he's like a hugely popular figure, but like he
Yeah.
does seem to
Yeah.
keep about 40% of the country like in pretty good kind of Feeling all right about him. I don't know. Strange times.
Was definitely.
Yeah. So Anne Heche and other crazy drivers, like, man, I don't know what it was this last week, but there's the Anne Heche. She drove her car into someone's house. It caught on fire and she sizzled up. There was a picture of her on the stretcher sitting up.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Right. But now she's in a coma. My guess is because she's in legal trouble. Like, like you're like put me in a coma because I don't really want to, like I'm sure there's something like, well, if you're in a coma, like that's got to affect your memory, like so you're not be able to remember how much you drank that morning.
That's how bad the situation is. She's like, fuck it, I don't care, I'll risk it.
Yeah, well, they seem to be confused. I was listening to Adam Carolla today talking about this on the news, and they seem to be confused about why her car would have caught on fire, like it might have hit a gas pipe. But
what kind of car was it?
It was a
Tesla,
Mini Clubman,
Subaru.
But I saw a video, and the dailymail.com is where I go for like crazy news stories like that, because they just like detail the shit out of these crazy stories. The Daily Mail had a video, like a Ring doorbell camera from some neighbor,
right,
that caught her car like moments before the crash, and she was flying down like a regular street, like flying, like
maybe
something like 90 miles an hour, they estimated.
Wait, was she driving in her neighborhood or just passing through some random neighborhood?
I think
maybe she had like some explosive diarrhea and she was trying to make it home.
Something needs to be explained, because like a person in their right mind is, without explosive diarrhea would never drive that fast in that, because it's like it looked like you're, like those areas around like Southern California, like Hollywood and whatever all the towns are, and Studio City, where it's just like blocks and houses and like people on the streets, and and there was so I think she was going like crazy fast. She was going really fast in at least one scene, so that might be why her car's on like caught fire.
Oh, that sucks, man.
There's that other crazy in LA, right? You must have heard about that. The lady, she's like a nurse from Texas that travels, like traveling nurses. And she blew through like an intersection in Los Angeles going 90 miles an hour.
Whoa.
Killed 6 people. Like
whoa.
Just, and at first it was like she was drunk and had a fight with her boyfriend or whatever. But then now it's coming out she's had mental issues. She's wasn't drunk.
She was just in a fugue state or something.
Just like a normal, like just like your normal Studio City, like that area, right? Like, is that the Valley or? I don't know
like that's Studio City.
That's
that's like more near LAX, that area.
Okay, like that, like just like going like 90 miles an hour. I can't imagine like that.
Oh no, wait, never mind.
Like who would get like, how would you get up that much speed? Number one, like to get up that much speed, it'd be like, that's like Grand Theft Auto, what she was doing. Cause like to get up that much speed in that area where there's, blocks and traffic lights and stop, like you'd have to blow through so many intersections.
Yeah.
Like both those cases are like, something needs to be explained. Like, why are we like, tell me like the accelerator stuck or something, or tell me you were suicidal. Like you were just in that moment. Like in that moment you got like, I don't know. Like, even if you're drunk, like, why would you be like, I'm going to fucking floor it.
Yeah.
And it goes fast as I can through this neighborhood. Like,
because they're drunk, man. I mean, I don't
know. Like I misjudge things, I could misjudge something.
Right.
But never like, I'm going to see how fast I can go. I mean, or maybe on a highway, but I don't know. It's crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. That the nurse was in Texas, right?
She's from Texas and she's a traveling nurse. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but I guess that's a kind of a thing.
Yeah.
They can make a lot of money doing that, or make
Nurses Without Borders. Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah. So I mean, it could just be like you could just like an RN. You're just like a regular nurse that works at a hospital, but they'll get paid because hospitals have shortages. So I just had Xbox time for my son. Banging on the door over here.
Yeah, yeah.
It's my leverage these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, what was that, man?
The last one was Alex Jones. He's crazy. But I thought it was funny because I saw it like
Look,
I mean, it has nothing to do with his current case. It's just he was turned. It was him and his lawyer in the courtroom turned around, looking at the back. It's like that's how it looks when you hear those sizzling fajitas come out.
Yeah.
But he's got like he's supposed to pay 45 million to the families of the that he talk shit about
so
way back. But he's never going to pay that much. They're saying like 10% maybe of that.
He keeps on saying that he's strapped for cash. Can he just liquidate whatever assets he has?
He already has, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past him to be an idiot, but like any sensible person that
would not stick up for gay frogs. I hear you.
That or like you realize like you're controversial. You realize like you're controversial and people are just itching to come after you. Like,
sure,
you got to recognize like people are coming after you, like you're hated. Like you have to recognize that. So you got to think like, I can't imagine that he would just be making all this money and just be keeping it in a savings account.
Mm-hmm.
Like just there. Like
maybe he has a diverse portfolio.
He would have to have at least one sensible friend saying you should probably like get that money, like put that money somewhere where it's protected.
He probably has
set up a trust for your kids or like just do something like where all that money is like safe. Like whether it's even if it's in your mattress or even if you put it in, like someone would have to be like, dude, you need to take that money, like suitcases that go to Costa Rica or something, because it's like you realize like the whole world's coming after you. Like
Manny mentioned, he probably has a diverse portfolio, but he probably has like an actual portfolio, like one of the
like
physical
a binder
paper.
of pictures.
Yeah, because he probably
headshots.
doesn't believe in banks because he's always paranoid. He doesn't want, he probably has all that cash.
Yeah, he probably
somewhere.
has he has like a backup binder, headshots for himself.
Yeah, yeah.
Because when the grid goes down, there'll be no IMDb.
Yeah,
so he's got to have some kind of some way to show his achievements. But he's just a crazy figure.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'll be he'll be in the news every 6 months for the next 10 years as they try to find every penny he's got. Also, I think there's some law in Texas. It's like there's a cap. Like Texas has a cap where like for every count or every instance of whatever you did, there's like a $750,000 cap. When in a case where there is damage, but there's no like you didn't lose your job kind of damage.
Mm-hmm.
Like you weren't hurt, like you weren't physically injured damage, like your car, your house, like there's just a cap. Like you can't just, you can't have like zero value in the world. Not saying that these parents, but you can't like have zero value in the world and someone says something bad and now you get to be worth $45 million, like there has to be some kind of cap on like how rich can you get from someone talking shit about you or you're like a loved one. I don't know. Again, dick move, like don't talk shit about people like that, but
yeah,
totally.
Unless they're long dead and not very unpopular. Then doesn't seem to matter. No one really stick up for those people.
Well, Chris,
but yeah, that was it. What? Sorry, go ahead.
We might have skipped over the. Did we go over the topic about wonderment? I think we might have skipped over it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, let's finish on that. I'm sorry because Manny, we started talking about like the kid stuff.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
In school, and then Manny started talking about his wonderment. Yeah, go for it. What were so a couple of listeners chimed in?
Yeah. So Dan Soder and Joe List were on Adam Carolla. He when he was in I think New York, right?
That was a really fun episode.
Yeah,
Dan Soder surprises me. He surprised me because Dan Soder's the guy that he's a comedian, but he's also an actor and he's on Billions.
Yeah,
and I think he's been on Joe Rogan a few times. Like
he has. Yeah,
he seems pretty buddy, and like he plays like a kind of the first time I'd ever seen him, he plays. I thought he was just an actor, and he plays kind of like a weak nerd guy, kind of.
Okay.
But he's really funny.
He used to be what is it, Red Eye with Gutfeld back in the day a lot.
Yeah.
Okay,
really?
So,
I don't remember that. Yeah.
So they started talking about being shocked or wonderment. Adam mentioned wonderment, amazement. So they talked about, just things that kind of surprised them. And that's kind of what I was curious about you guys, like what, when you guys were younger or even now as adults, what are you guys kind of surprised about? Or you were like, thinking, oh, we've gotten this far in technology. I don't know if Chris.
I don't know if you want me to go first because I got a long list. Remember, like I'm a little bit older than you guys, so
yeah.
My childhood technology was like I had some like Hot Wheels. Like my childhood, like advances of technology is like this like Hot Wheels had like an accessory.
No, man, the biggest one was probably the Walkman.
The Walkman, Walkman was something, although I was not in awe of that because I didn't get a Walkman. I got like the $19.99 Lennox brand, whatever, at at the cheap store.
Yeah.
And the headphone jacks would always like get loose and break. Yeah. So like it'd be stereo and then like a week later be like mono.
Yeah.
Like I still listen to AM radio.
Yeah,
but
or what about when the batteries are going they're dying and the tape goes like in slow slow
advanced like
devoted to you.
An advanced Walkman would like have like some kind of battery sensor. Like they had achieved that technology to where when the battery wasn't strong enough to move the tape at the correct speed, it would shut off. Like wow, that was
I had a Walkman
that was high tech.
A clock on it on the side with a little screen and battery meter. Yeah.
Look at you, Mr. Moneybags.
Player, man.
Yeah, cassette player.
Oh, I should find a picture of the first tape deck I had was this black rectangular thing, and that was incredible because you could record yourself. And I think I may have spoken about it not that far back, but yeah, like I remember I had a flashback to me and my friends. We would sit around at like sleepovers and we would record ourselves just talking shit like David Letterman or something like that. We would just record ourselves making fun of our other friends that weren't there.
Yeah.
On this tape deck. Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, for me, I mean, it's just like, from like age 15. And I think I had, when I went to high school, we had Apple IIe computers and then we had Mac. We had the first Macs. Or whatever they were at the time, like just app. I don't know if it was called a Mac yet, but like where you had a mouse and you could draw graphics and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like we had but two of those in like a math lab. That was a big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You had one about a VCR?
Yeah, it had a wired remote and a timer.
Yeah.
So you could tape things like Attack of the Tarantulas or like Killer Bee movies. Like that's like the Saturday night ABC movie of the week would be the Killer Bees.
Oh
so
my God.
You didn't have to be home. You could to record it with a timer. But I remember, like, I'm sure everybody does, like that moment when you did get home to see if it worked.
Yeah.
Like, did it work or not?
Well,
and then it like didn't work because there's AM PM.
Yeah,
that was a new thing in the digital age. It was like you had to choose AM or PM, or simply your clock radio would have a PM and a dot over it, so you knew it was PM.
Yeah.
Other than the sunlight outside, you knew it was PM because the dot was over the PM.
I have one where it has also to do with VCR. I remember, you guys remember Teddy Ruxpin?
Yep.
Yeah.
So there was a Teddy Ruxpin. It was not a cartoon, but it was kind of more like an animatronic series. And I think
it started off as an animatronic bear. I thought it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't a cartoon at first. It was like real bear.
Yeah, exactly. And I
real
think
creepy.
It was kind of creepy. And then they turned it into like a show where I think a guy wore a suit and was like the caterpillar and then the bear or whatever. Well, at one point, I remember my dad rented the video. There was like a movie, like a made-for-TV movie. So we were watching it at home. But my dad said, "Okay, we're gonna record it from the TV to the VCR." I don't know if it was one of those double-decker ones that you recorded, the blank tape VHS and that sort of thing. So when
first you had a Walkman with a clock on it. Now you're telling me you may have had a dubbing VCR, like a VCR that could dub tapes.
I believe so. Yeah. I know. Look at my brown privilege over here.
Bring that Guatemalan money up in there.
Yeah, they have Guatemalan oil. So, so we started playing. You know, we press play, we press record, so the video's playing, and the other tape is recording. Now, at one point, I remember my brother talking, and he's making noise, and I tell him, "Shh, quiet, we're recording." So I thought
we're very literal with it.
Yeah. And then my dad's like, no, that's not how it works. Don't worry. We can talk. It's just recording whatever's on the TV. So
I was wondering about, your
I told
intelligence. Like, oh shit, should I be worried here?
One of my best friends in like growing up, elementary, middle school, Mike McLaughlin, his parents, they had 2 VCRs, a shelf, and like countless VCR tapes, blank VCR tapes, because they would get every movie from Blockbuster and dub it. 3 movies. They do it in the ELP.
3 movies. Yeah.
Was that like SP, like LP, like ELP?
Yeah.
And they would dub it 3 movies to a tape, 2 hours each.
Yeah.
And they were grainy, but they had every freaking movie from like the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Every movie. Like as soon as it would come out, they'd get it, they'd record it, and they would just have every like latest movie.
Yeah. Remember the VHS?
That was awesome. That was awesome going over there.
The VHSs had the little piece of plastic that if you broke it off.
Oh, right? yeah.
That means
regular cassettes had that too. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Oh
man. I have a few tech wonderments. One of them is
also you could put a little piece of Scotch tape over it if you
dove right over it.
Yeah.
One's VCR adjacent. So this was during my formative years, puberty kicking in. I was, this was full on latchkey kid mode when my mom would work, odd hours. I found out one night that the timer function or whatever, so you could set something to record. It could work without having the TV being on. It would still record whatever programming was set to record.
Yeah, that's we probably tested that. Like we better test recording the ABC movie with the TV on or off. Like what? Yeah.
So what I did one night is I set it to record, because this is also during the time where we had like this cable package for hella cheap, so we took advantage of it. And one night I was just like, hey, let me record some of these Skinamax flicks, and sure enough, it worked. The following morning I was home alone, mom was off at work, and I just went to town on myself. That tape got a lot of use, man.
That was your wonderment, like
hell
how much you could create, how much you could produce.
No, not about how much
in a 24-hour period.
Like what could I record off of and fucking enjoy later on. That I was like, I didn't know that. I thought the TV had to be on, sound blasting, which I didn't want happening. It was like perfect.
Yeah.
Your mom went to do the laundry and had her own form of wonderment, like
where the movie starring
a sledgehammer,
Shannon
like
Tweed
breaking your socks into the washing machine.
No. Well, what was your question, Rob?
Yeah, where the movie starring Shannon Tweed. Remember her?
Like every other movie, yeah.
I don't remember if she was
and
a star.
She ended up marrying Gene Simmons later.
Yeah, they're
on.
Still married today, aren't
right?
they?
Yeah.
Are they?
I think so. I don't know.
She was just an all-American, like there's just a period of time there, I don't know, for like several years where she just, you just see her tits on a regular basis. Just with like basic cable or Cinemax or whatever. You didn't have to get late night.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where she was. She wasn't like really after. She was just like it'd be like 10 o'clock.
It was a warm up.
It'd be like 9:30. Like on a Friday night.
Primed and ready.
Yeah.
She had her shirt off.
Yeah.
But then she stopped. It's like
yeah, I know.
Well, she got fed up with it. She's like, I'm over this shit. I'm done. Let's go with something else.
I guess.
Yeah. The other tech wonderments also, because grew up in a working class household in elementary school. We had a computer lab, so I was like, "Yo, what the fuck is this machine? Hell yeah, I'll try and go on this Oregon Trail. Let's see how it goes."
Yeah.
There was that. What is it?
I think I might have been in like 9th grade when we got our first personal computer, and we had Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. Like you had 2 like floppy disks
as well.
Yeah.
Floppy disk. Well, this is like 1985, 86, something, right around like end of middle school.
Right.
Where we got our first computer. And you couldn't actually have anything on the computer. You had to run a disk run
boot it
and
up.
do anything.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I don't know if I was in wonderment then, because it's like I think I knew at that time, like, man, playing Jeopardy with my parents is
It's lame.
this is not cool. This is not the path forward.
Yeah.
So, oh man, I had just so many. Like, I worked at a company. I worked in logistics, and it's a company that did international trade, video game accessories, like a lot of like freight coming and going. And the culture at this company was that like every day or every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, there was a FedEx package that was going to go out, a FedEx envelope. This is like early mid 90s, something like that. Like, it was a big deal. Like that FedEx guy was coming, and it was, and that everything that was important had to be in that package to go out so that it got to Hong Kong like 2 days later or whatever it is, whatever that overnight would be. And things would get done. But I think like everybody was like sharp, like everybody was on a time deadline all the time. And then I remember like in like the span of a couple days, we just had email.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, you just, we don't have to do the FedEx package anymore. Like all these things that were like, had to be done by like, you can just kind of do them anytime, and just send it anytime. Like you could send it at 4:55 that day or like tomorrow morning.
Like freaking sweet.
And it's kind of like it made things better, but then it also made things a little bit different. Like, because now like everybody was an individual and everybody would just kind of do all their own tasks on their own time. Whereas everybody used to be like, this FedEx driver is going to be here, and he can't wait, and there's no backup, for this territory.
Yeah.
And
Just show up as like, let's go.
If you don't have your order sheet, if you don't have this thing filled out and copied and in triplicate, and all that stuff and signed in that package, then we're going to be in big trouble.
Yeah.
So it's just I remember that, like, I really remember that vividly because we went from doing things so manually. Like it just felt like overnight, to everything was digital, like spreadsheets and everything. And like you just email things around and, you don't have to print anything and bring anything to anybody. You just send it to them and you didn't have to walk over to their cubicle.
That was the other thing too. Since you mentioned email, really? For me, it was just the internet, the introduction of the internet. I was like, yo, what the fuck is this all about?
Yeah.
I remember that too. Like, if everybody remembers their first friend. Like, I remember I had Prodigy, like internet when I was a kid, right? Or when I was younger, because my sister was always real like tech forward. She was always into that stuff. But that really wasn't the internet. That was like procured news stories, and they could order CDs off samgoody.com.
Yeah.
And I remember that being a really big deal, even though I did go to the mall with my friends every weekend where there is a Sam Goody. I was like, I ordered my, I'm
old fashioned like that.
I ordered my Duran Duran CD.
Yeah. Remember the
I ordered it online and it's going to be shipped to me in 4 to 6 weeks, bitches.
Yeah.
Or if you wanted to preview,
station.
if you wanted to preview the CD, the album, you can just put on the headphones and stand there for 20, 30 minutes listening to the whole album.
Yeah. I was like, no, I paid $8 shipping and handling.
Yeah.
I could have picked it up right here. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But no, I ordered it on my computer. But I remember the first time I saw the real internet, I had moved out and it was like this apartment we shared with a bunch of people, and it wasn't even a roommate. It was a friend of theirs that brought a computer over, and that had like the real internet with like an internet browser, whatever that was at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember like being able to search like Grateful Dead lyrics.
Sure. Yeah.
Or like Grateful Dead concert dates. And there'd be like people that had already put together pages of like, this is the set list from, Mountain View, California, 1974,
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's kind of, I remember that very vividly too. Like that was the first like real internet.
Yeah.
But then at the same time thinking like, all right, I'm done with that. Like, okay. Like,
sure.
There wasn't really anything like that super useful to do yet,
I remember, I remember printing out pictures of like basketball players back when I was in, like, why,
I probably spent the majority of my first several years on the internet just on ESPN.com because there wasn't much else.
Yeah.
Right. And
Yeah.
you know, just at that age, I was just like, oh my god, I get sports and I get all this stuff
Sure.
real time. You know,
Yeah.
it's incredible.
So I'm gonna read some of the comments from the post that we made on the
Sure,
Facebook
yeah,
group
yeah.
today. So our friend Hi Hat Laura, one of the things that she mentioned was an app, Waze, that not only talks to me, giving step-by-step directions desperately needed, but alerts me when there are objects on the road ahead, red light cameras, police, etc.
Yeah.
But more importantly, she said, I can receive alerts in a voice I want to hear. Mine is set to British male accent. 16-year-old me with Tupac in my CD player would have never guessed this would be a thing. And
Shout out to
obviously,
Thug Rose.
yeah,
When
obviously,
can you
all-
make
all
Tupac
things-
your voice though? That'd be pretty cool.
You're right? Yeah,
You could use like a dead slain rapper as your
Yeah.
Waze voice,
yeah.
but they may talk in a way that you're not quite sure, like
Yeah.
of the directions all the time.
Yeah,
Use a lot of slang, and then
Yeah.
you just like, yeah, you don't know where you're going. But yeah, it is pretty. There was a time in my life where I used Waze all the time.
mhm.
I can get that. Yeah, like yeah.
yeah.
I know when I'm traveling and I'm driving a lot. Yeah, I've got something on all the time telling me where to go.
Whoa, I don't know, 8 years back when I went to Guatemala with a cousin of mine, we're in this car, and then he had Google Maps on his phone, and it was doing the whole, directions. And I'm like, wait a minute, there's a like satellite even here in Guatemala and Guatemala City telling you where you can go. And he's like, yeah. I'm
It's
like,
worldwide,
oh man.
man.
I know it's worldwide satellites.
I remember like with the company, I think I still have somewhere a TomTom.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
There was a
shit.
brief period where I'd be like, I'm just going to bring this with me.
Mhm,
you know,
mhm. Yeah.
Um,
Now you don't really need it anymore unless you want.
no.
Yeah.
I like to keep it real old school, and I have a Thomas guide in the truck of my car. Just
I honestly, I really don't like thinking about like, cause I used to drive in Baltimore City when I was a kid, when I was young, my dad had shops down there, and I really don't like I think I remember being real stressed out about it all the time. Cause I lived in the suburbs and I go downtown. It's just like, it seemed like every turn was like a risk. Cause it's just, everything's one way. You might turn this way and then it's going to cost you 20 minutes and like, traffic lights. And I don't like to think about those days, especially now, like, cause I'm like, especially in the context of, I didn't have a device.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean, a former guest, Sean Zimmerman. So he said, I remember seeing my first digital camera and being blown away that you could see the images you just took on the little screen. Yeah.
He missed the Polaroid phase.
Yeah, I know. Seriously.
I guess it was just because it was on the screen.
Yeah.
I'm sure like, yeah, there was another generation that was like blown away by the Polaroid.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah.
Former guest, Jeff Lee, his iPod for sure.
Yeah.
I remember I had I bought one of the first iPods with the screen, which was fun. I with the wheel, remember the wheel? And I also had iPod Shuffle, and it had a rope that you could put around your neck and just kind of.
Oh, so that was really like little square, like a really tiny thing or something.
Like a stick of gum. Yeah.
I had like a Samsung MP3 player, like because you're not legally allowed to call it an iPod.
Yeah, no,
get sued. But no, I had a Samsung MP3 player,
sure.
And then I went to iPhone after that. So I kind of skipped the iPod like that. Because I was like, I'm not going to pay. Like my interest is one thing. Like I want to listen to this soccer podcast every day. I'm not going to pay and have I just want this, and I just download it and put it on this thing every day and then plug it in my car.
I had this Zune at one point.
Same.
Microsoft Zune. Yeah.
I remember looking at this, taking a good hard look at the Zune.
I had the Gears of War edition with the artwork on the back. Yeah, which is fun. And
that
actually,
was too
they were
flashy for me.
They were, I think, I don't know if it was like Napster era, but they were one of the first ones to do the monthly music service where you can pay like the $10-15. Yeah, that was innovative. Yeah. Jeff Lee also says Toyota Prius hybrid smartphone. I think the iPhone 4 when it started to take off. Former guest Martina, formerly from San Francisco, she said caller ID. I couldn't believe that you could find out who was calling you before you answer the phone.
Or star
Mind-blowing.
69.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. And she said, help me avoid a lot of people back then. Still does. My mom used to have the separate boxes attached to all of the phones in the house. So, yeah. Anybody else have any comments or, just send them over to our Facebook page if you're on there.
Yeah, there's a lot of good ones. I mean, there's so many, like for me.
Yeah.
I mean, so many.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's so many. Even my phone, the Apple Watches. Remember Dick Tracy back in the day? I used to think that was so cool. And then now we have the Apple Watches and we can just talk through our watch. And that even video. I think you can even do video now.
I'm not, as much as I like technology, the whole Apple Watch thing or just any smartwatch is just like, nah, bridge too far. I like just a watch to be a watch. I don't need it to tell me any news or send me text, email, fuck off.
Yeah. You know what? I am actually getting to the point where I feel like I might want to go back to the regular normal watches. And I like watches. I like the artistic way they, kind of mechanically look and work. And yeah, we don't always need to be connected, but these were all fun answers. I'm sure there's more that you kind of, I don't know, just I'm sure there's going to be more where we kind of say later on, oh, how do we get here? And do you have any other ones, Manny?
Oh, shit. Well, not really, because it was just the internet, the digital camera, that little VCR thing.
Yeah. I have another one where
what's that?
Whenever there's Wi-Fi now, I still have it somewhere. Remember those old TVs, the portable TV with the DVD player where you can kind of fold over?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can probably fit it in your pocket or something. When I used to do front desk security, and I used to work on weekends sometimes, I'd bring it with me, pop in a DVD and then watch a movie, just leave it connected. And now we can watch Netflix on our phones. We can watch, downloaded movies on our phones or iPads or, laptops if we really wanted to.
Actually, speaking of laptops, you reminded me of one that happened. So one of the laptops I purchased back in 2014, it had the old school VGA like monitor adapter, the blue port.
Oh yeah.
And a CD-ROM drive. So fast forward to however many years after my following the laptop I replaced that with, it didn't have a fucking CD-ROM drive and it didn't have it had a HDMI.
Mm-hmm.
And that threw me for a loop. The no CD-ROM drive, I was just like taking it back. I was actually a little bit insulted. I was like, yo, what the fuck? And me not making the connections like, hey, everything's in the cloud, bro. No one does install discs anymore. Fast forward to this current laptop I'm using, it was a Type-C for the display and the power. So when I opened it up, I was just kind of looking at it. I was like, I was on the verge of returning it.
Yeah.
It's like, how the fuck am I supposed to run my monitor to this thing? And then quickly read, like, oh no, you just need an adapter for the Type-C for HDMI. I was like, all right, cool.
Well, there's always adapters, right?
Yeah. I was just thrown off. I was like, less wonder, more just like incensed. It's like, what the fuck's going on with these computers? Why are they advancing so fast? I'm not a fan of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm kind of like, I think we gotta like, it'll never happen. I wonder, but we gotta be done soon. Like, all right, I don't need a vacuum that can sense 85 different things in my house.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Or if I do, I don't need it to be owned by the same company that is also delivering like everything. That's enough. Like, but it's not going to until people have this sense themselves, like something doesn't seem like a good idea.
It's all
right. This doesn't seem like a good. I'll probably be fine, but this does not seem like a good idea. That I want to just keep ramping up further and further for my kids' generation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
To where they don't need to dress themselves in the morning. But I'll also get to this point where I feel like we're at a tipping point, maybe because I'm getting older, But like we're at a tipping point where people start spending all the time that the technology was supposed to save you. Like it's also like starting to cost you more time. Like whenever your phone's fucked up or you have to do this or whatever, like, it's just like, why do I send an invite at work and it shows up twice? Like what? Like I'm supposed to just be able to send an invite digitally, so everybody in my office knows, but like now it's sending it twice and like, why, why is it doing this? Now I could have just told her, but I'm joking, exaggerating a little bit, but we're getting to a point where I don't know. It's almost, it feels like, I'm sure it's not, but it feels like it's also starting to slow you down a little bit because you spend so much time like fucking doing maintenance on your tech.
Yeah.
Or like worrying about, or maybe the anxiety that your tech's not going to work or yeah. It's, I don't know. We're kind of reaching a point where, I don't know if it's doing us as much good.
It's all distraction, man.
Yeah, we need another meteor.
Yeah.
No, we don't. We're all right for right now. Let's course correct is all I'm saying.
Yeah. I think I had this thought today, this epiphany about immigration, that we need to like quadruple it in America, like starting tomorrow in an organized way, but like we need to ramp up so we can just take 10 times the amount of immigrants from other countries, because I think part of our problem, and I'll stop talking after this. Oh, actually, I got a life hack, is that we have like America's full of people that aren't really hungry.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hungry for success or
whatever it is,
accomplishment, that
are not really hungry, like that have never really known what it's like to be like, I'm starving. Like I'm really, really hungry. Like, to be dirt poor. You know what I mean? So I think like the more people, I'm sure the unintended consequences and all, but I think like the idea of it is that we need more people injected into our society that know what it's like to truly miss a meal and not have a safety net around them all the time.
Yeah.
That then appreciate that then I'm not saying get rid of the safety net. I'm saying that appreciate the freaking safety net. Who are like, this is good. Hey, this place has got a lot of problems, but oh man, overall it's amazing. You know what I mean? Like, and then we're a country full of people that are just like, this place got a lot of problems. There's no like, but it's pretty, But hey, I can watch every Star Wars.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Whatever Star Wars I want to watch, I can watch it anytime.
Well, it's funny. It kind of brings. I'm thinking about delayed gratification and instant gratification. My stepson is into Darth Vader right now a lot, probably because of Fortnite. He's been playing Fortnite. He bought the skin or whatever. Now he wants to see Darth Vader in Star Wars. So I said, all right, you know what? I'm going to start you from the beginning, even though the movie was not that great, but we're going to watch episode 1 from the beginning of Anakin and then his growth and all that stuff. Darth Maul is great. Awesome. But he's like, I don't see Darth Vader. I said, don't worry. You'll see him eventually. I just want you to, but he wanted Darth Vader. He wanted Darth Vader. I'm like, dude, you're going to see him. You're going to like him. But yeah.
I think there's probably something there to that. This is, anecdotal, but my son was like, Darth Vader was really the first Star Wars character that really that was like the number one impact. I mean, there's others. It's not like there weren't, but like he was definitely a first place as far as most memorable character impact before he really understood maybe like who's good, who's bad. Like, and it could just because he's huge and like these big black cape with a, James Earl Jones voice, but it could be like that was the one character that he knew was bad.
Yeah.
And like he's trying to figure out all these other characters. Like, is that Wookiee? Is that Dog Man good or bad? Because I don't know. Like, as a 7-year-old, they're just like, I don't know if a Dog Man is good or bad. Seems bad, right? And I can't understand what he's saying. So is he evil? Is Han like? I remember my kid thinking like, is Han Solo good or bad? Like, because he was, because he's like kind of a pirate.
Depends who you ask.
Kind of sneaky.
But like Darth Vader, they're sure bad.
Bad, yeah.
Like certainly, without a doubt, like there's no like ambiguity about that character.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say, I know you mentioned immigration, and this we can go on, but we're about to, say
Right.
goodnight to everybody. But I'm all for immigration. You know what worries me regarding that? The number one thing that worries me is if we get more and more people, plumbing. We need to get our plumbing system. Right? Don't you think
You're worried about the
We
number of
need-
bathrooms?
yeah, too
That's
many
true.
people. We need good plumbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
That would solve that whole you have to have a non-binary bathroom. It's like,
Yeah.
hey man, we got a lot of extra people here. We got time for this. Every bathroom
Yeah.
it's a free for all everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's it. That's the only thing that worries me.
And it just kind of goes to that theme Adam says, like, we're out of problems. We're out of real
Yeah.
problems.
Yeah.
Like we are, like as American, like as a people,
Sure.
like very
Yeah.
comfortable people we are. But like
Yeah.
we need immigrants because they got real problems.
Oh, yeah.
Like they got like real serious poverty is a problem. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's
Mhm.
real.
Yeah.
Anyway, life hack in a nutshell. I was running low on socks. I asked my wife to get me some new low cut ankle socks, just black. She brought me home a 12 pack, maybe bigger, like a giant pack of these socks. It's the only socks I've worn for the last month, maybe longer. And I got to tell you,
Yeah.
saved me a lot of time. Haven't had to do my laundry for a long time. I may have to, but whoever's been
Uh-huh.
doing my laundry, it saved them a lot of time because there's
Yeah.
no socks. Like you just throw all the socks in a basket, right?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I save a lot of time decision making in the morning. I just wear the same socks. I don't care if I'm wearing pants, short, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I just wear the same socks. It's amazing. It's very liberating.
That's good.
Anyway,
Well,
I
you know
advise
what's
it.
you know what's a bigger not to be a one upper.
Mhm.
Dame Dash, Jay-Z's former business partner. I remember watching a thing on MTV about him,
Oh,
and
yeah,
he
I
would
know him.
say that he would open up a new pack of socks, wear them once, and throw them away.
Mm.
I think that's kind of douchey. I mean, it's rich, but it's kind of douchey. Like, really, you don't even have anybody that can clean your clothes and wash your clothes. But I guess that's a even
Yeah.
bigger hack. At least yours is more environmentally friendly, right?
Yes. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It-
So you're a hero.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. No, I don't think it is. I think because I'm still,
Using energy and water.
oh yeah, I still do the same thing. I mean, they are
Yeah.
ankle cut, low cut socks. So there's not as much fabric,
That's true. Yeah.
There you
That's,
go.
but the machine uses the same amount of water either.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think our washing machine like weighs the clothes now. I think
Wow.
that happens. Like it weighs it, so it knows how much water you use. Something. I don't know.
Smart. I like that.
I don't know if that's true or not. They just put these things, sensors, like everything is like a sensor, has a sensors. Like, okay.
Sensor
Like
for the
the-
sensor.
Yeah, those trucker, way stations.
But yeah, it's been great. It's been great. I still have all the other socks and the different colors and whatnot, but no, I'm just going with these black ankle socks every day. Doesn't matter what shoes I wear. I don't care. And if anybody's like, what's up with that? I'm like, why are you looking at my socks?
Yeah.
Oh, since we're on the subject of feet, Chris, do you make people take off their shoes before entering your home? Or
No,
after? Okay.
no, I do. Not pragmatic at all, but I did grow up. Well, no, my dad, Korean, no house, no shoes in his house since I can remember. Never wear.
Oh.
Always take shoes off inside at the front door, back door, anywhere.
Yeah.
A lot of slippers, like a lot of like unisex slippers, one size fits all that would just kind of go back and forth all over the place. So,
Mhm.
I appreciate that. I wish we could do that, but I mean, you got 3 kids, you got, neighborhood kids in and out all the time. I don't think that's conducive to like a normal American household.
Then you got to worry about your pets and your bees. I hear you.
Yeah. I do think of that fondly though. And I remember like my parents, like my dad and my stepmother's, their home, their carpet was immaculate.
Mhm.
Like the tile in their kitchen from the day they built the house is like, it's the same tile and it's like sparkling clean and the same, like normally you'd wear it out and you'd have to update your tile. No, they still have like the same linoleum floor that looks mint
Yeah.
from like 1987. because it's just been socks. Like no one's worn anything but socks on it. But like they could have white carpet and like just, and it's just like, it just stays white. Because it also, you don't wear bare feet, you know, because like the oils of your feet would, you know, get in the carpet fibers and then attract dirt.
Oh.
So I was fun. And then like there was a sense, I remember there's a sense of also like I'm not a germaphobe, but I don't like, you know, I don't get too loosey goosey around the place. But like I remember like, just you could just lie on the floor anywhere, like, and it's just like, like there were no shoes that were also standing at a urinal today. They used to say that shit too. Like my stepmom would be like, you notice, you know, pee in the bathroom at the public bathroom. Like you step in that, you know, be like, yeah, I mean, that's a good point.
It is a good point. It really is.
Point.
I feel like most of that pee has worn off the bottom of my shoes, you know, in the last 4 hours since I was in that, you know, and then I drove home and like walked from the car.
Yeah.
Sidewalk, front door. I feel like most of the pee's off, but yeah, I guess there's some remnants of pee.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, have you done all socials? You know, did you do that? While I was,
no, but I can go ahead and do the socials.
Let's give us a condensed version.
All right. All right, guys.
Manny's tired.
Join our Facebook group by going and searching the Endless Ranters podcast. Just search a couple questions. We'll let you in. Follow us on Instagram at Endless Ranters Podcast, at Endless Ranters Podcast. That is on Instagram. For those who do Twitter, just search at Endless Ranters and you'll find us there. You want to check out Chris on Twitter. It is Grateful Red 1. That's the number 1, Grateful Red 1. If you want to check out Mole Man Manny, check him out on Instagram and Twitter and the podcast, all by the same name, How We Figure. Just search him, How We Figure, and you'll find him. And then just find me on any social as Robbie Spotlight, and say hi. And for those who like the YouTubes, check us out on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, and all that good stuff. Share the videos.
Shout out to Quana.
Yeah.
Shout out to Quana.
Yeah, shout out to Quana.
Well, thanks,
Quana,
Robbie. I appreciate it, man.
Kylie.
We appreciate it. Thanks everybody for watching, listening, subscribing, all that. Yeah, hit the like button. If you're listening to this, go to our YouTube channel and try to like it or subscribe it. Come on, you know, you can subscribe it, then you can turn off notifications. But yeah, we want to try to do something to get that number cranked up, and then do some other new stuff. So we'll see. We might be changing the night and time for this podcast. I don't know how people feel about that, but we might move to a different night, kicking it around, but maybe starting later, so we can go a little later, have a little more fun, maybe be more convenient time for folks that want to watch, to tune in maybe. So so stay tuned. We really appreciate it. And that's about it. This is Chris saying, get it on.
This is Rob. Get it on.
Get it on, everybody.
Woot, woot.
So Manny, I was going to thank you. I forgot, but we were talking about, I write notes sometimes, but in case we run into things to talk about, you know what I mean? It's like,
I printed the notes out today and then I left them in my office.
We probably use I don't know. I mean, those are my notes, but I mean, I probably use 3/4, but there's stuff that just gets sloughed off because we got plenty of stuff that naturally comes up. I was going to thank you for the Breaking Points podcast. Is pretty good.
Oh yeah, you're enjoying
They
that?
did a pretty good job. They did a pretty good job of I like information. I like good information.
Right.
I know a lot of information is going to be opinions. So I just want to know what's information, what's opinion. That's fine. But yeah, I think they did a good job. They did a good job breaking down the whole Trump raid and the legal parts of it, the reactions, what's hypocritical, what's not. They seem to be in agreement. Everybody seems to be in agreement. This was kind of a line that got crossed. I don't know, but that doesn't mean it's, again, our previous generation, our parents' generation had something much worse happen to their president, so
it's true.
Maybe we shouldn't be freaking out that much, but yeah, I think they do a good job. I was listening to this podcast called Rising
Oh,
it's
that's
part
what
of-
they used to be on before they started breaking points.
They
on the
left that.
hill.
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. That's right. I didn't realize that. But I think I needed a podcast to put in the rotation
Mhm.
like Rising, but I literally stopped listening to it. They had Fauci on a few weeks ago.
Oh, really?
It was just ridiculous, because he just makes the rounds, right? So I think what this is a pretty popular news podcast. The Hill is a pretty, in DC and politics, it's a kind of a notable website, news
Yeah.
organization, whatever. So I think, Fauci goes on these circuits and they offer him up to all these popular news channels just to get him out there and get the word out there about whatever bullshit he's spinning that week. So they accepted it and they had him on, and they'd be critical of him all the time. But then there was just kind of I wouldn't call it a softball interview. It was just a standard run of the mill bullshit news organization, government official, give the government official time to come on and spout his bullshit, spout whatever, push back a little bit with some softball questions, and then it's over, and that's your 15 minutes, and you get this 15-minute time slot.
Yeah.
This is such horse crap. And I guess the Kim Iverson is the lady that she's like the libertarian or independent, another like kind of independent person.
Mhm.
And she wanted to be on that podcast with Fauci because she's critical of him. And they're like, nope, you can't be on there. So, and I'm sure that was part of the deal, was like, no, you don't, we're offering up the head of the, whatever CDC or whatever his title is. We're going to offer him up, but here's the deal. Like, no, you're not going to, like, we're not going to give them to you for 15 minutes in a hostile environment.
Exactly.
So they made the decision, I think, to take that deal because that's a big name. That's a big get.
Mm.
And they boost their listenership. Right. But they allow this guy to just go on and do his thing, just like he does on NBC and CBS and all the other. They just kind of give him the standard questions and let him get away with, bullshit.
Get away with murder.
Get him away with bullshit and just like revising history, like saying he didn't say certain things. And it's like, oh, well, here's a montage of you saying that exact thing 100 times. And now you're saying you didn't say it. Like, okay. Oh man, it's crazy. But yeah, I was just like, no, I'm done with that show. That's like, cause that's where it's like, we were talking about AP News, and like a lot of these news organizations are just like, they're just like mouthpieces. Like part of their deal is they get the interview with the government official and they just report whatever the government official says.
Yeah.
And they don't really, question much either. Yeah.
I gotta go.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, Robbie.
All right.
I guess it's time to wrap it up anyway.
Peace.
All right, buddy.
Peace,
See you
Robbie.
soon.
Later.
Yeah, just go ahead and stop recording the audio and the stream and
Got it.
call it a night for everybody. See y'all next week, YouTubes.
Stop recording. Oh yes, a little different button this time. Yeah, buddy. Thanks a lot.
It's been a pleasure as always.